In 1793, an executioner's assistant in Paris lifted a severed head from the basket and slapped it across the face. According to the crowd, the head slapped back. Not literally, but the face, they said, flushed red with unmistakable indignation. The assistant was jailed for it. For the next 100 years, France quietly argued about a question nobody wanted to ask out loud. When you remove a head, how long is somebody still in there? The guillotine exists because of a man who hated executions. Joseph-Ignace, Guillotin, opposed the death penalty. His argument was that while France still had one, it should at least be identical for everyone. Nobles got a clean sword, the poor got hanging or worse. And it should be as close to painless as a machine could make it. So the device was engineered for speed. An angled blade, a heavy weight, a fall of just over 2 meters. From release to severed spine, about 1/70th of a second. Guillotin was horrified to find his name attached to it. His family later petitioned to change the machine's name. They were refused, so they changed their own. The trouble was that the machine worked so quickly it created a brand new problem, and thousands of public executions in which to observe it. Witnesses kept reporting the same things. Eyes that moved, mouths that opened and shut, faces that seemed to react. The reports came from doctors, from guards, from executioners, people with no particular reason to invent them, describing the same handful of behaviors over and over. In 1905, a physician named Gabriel Beaurieux got official permission to stand at the scaffold and simply watch. His subject was a condemned man named Henri Languille. Beaurieux recorded what he saw with the flat carefulness of a man who knows nobody will believe him. For several seconds, movement, the face contorting, then stilling. Then he called the man's name. The eyelids lifted, he wrote, and the eyes fixed on his own. Not the vague roll of a dying body, focused deliberately. Then they closed. He called again. The same thing happened. The third time, nothing. By his own count, the whole sequence lasted somewhere between 25 and 30 seconds. Here's what modern physiology says. The brain runs on a continuous supply of oxygenated blood at pressure. Sever the arteries, and that pressure collapses immediately. Studies measuring brain activity in decapitated laboratory rats found the electrical signature of consciousness disappearing within about 4 seconds. Scaled to a human brain, the estimates land somewhere between 2 and 7 seconds, not 30. And critically, almost everything witnesses described can be produced with no brain involvement at all. Severed nerves fire, muscles twitch, faces move. A body does not need an occupant to do any of that. So the eyewitnesses weren't lying, and they weren't right either. They watched a face move and concluded a person was still behind it, because that is the only thing a moving face has ever meant in all of human experience. But the honest answer is worse than the myth in one small way. It isn't 30 seconds. It's probably a few. And a few seconds is not 0, which is precisely the thing Guillotin was trying to engineer away, and the one part of it he couldn't. France kept the guillotine until 1977, by which point it had outlived the doctor, the revolution, and roughly every argument ever made in its favor.